Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sports Express. We got a lot to cover tonight. It's madness, the big dance. I can't dance. Literally March Madness, though. The first round of the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament started today. This afternoon, Colgate University suited up as the 14th seed to take on third-seeded Arkansas. Kristen, I may be out here in the Syracuse area, but it's teams from our area taking over as the Section 3 Class B girls soccer semifinal pits Central Valley Academy against Holland Patton, with the winner of this game moving on to the section final on Friday at SUNY Cortland. This game is a 5:30 start, so just a few minutes from now. The teams behind me warming up right now. Fans from both teams starting to fill up the stands a little bit. Jason, yeah. It was dangerous sending me down here. I couldn't resist, and so I had to pick myself up one of the Comets game-worn helmets. My adult hockey league is coming up at the end of the month, so I needed some new equipment, and what better way than to come down here to the Odd and get myself some gear for the year. It's been a fun evening here as the Olympic, oh, look at this, the Empire State Winter Games torch. I have been passed, although they didn't trust me with the actual fire-lit one. But either way, it's moving through this area, heading to Oneida tomorrow, and then out towards the Watertown area. And then again, on Thursday, it'll be in Lake Placid. That'll do it for me here at the Clinton Arena. I got to go pass this off to someone else. The Utica Comets season has ended, and thus the affiliation with the Vancouver Canucks has also come to a close. Today, the Comets ushered in the new era of hockey at the Odd, giving their logo a little bit of a facelift to honor the colors of its new partner, the New Jersey Devils. Good evening, Kristen, and for myself, like many of you out there, the Odd is like a second home for us for at least 6 months out of the year, if not longer. Now we're faced with the realization that we may not be able to return home for quite some time. AHL President and CEO Dave Andrews announced today that the league's Board of Governors voted to cancel the remainder of the regular season and this year's Calder Cup playoffs, citing a lengthy review process indicating completion was not feasible in the current conditions of this coronavirus pandemic. The Comets last played on March 11th here at the Adirondack Bank Center, a 3-1 loss to the rival Syracuse Crunch, and had 15 games left on their schedule amid the tight North Division playoff race. As time went on, it became increasingly more difficult to see a return take place, but that still didn't make it easy for the team to hear its season was over.
I've been thinking about this for over 2 months, and what you would say, and it's still, it's not easy.
The AHL said that all standings and stats from the day of suspension, March 12th, are considered official and final, leaving the Comets finishing with a record of 34, 22, 3-2, and third place in the North Division with 73 points. Coming up later in the show, we're going to hear from Comets President Rob Esch about the impact that this will have on the community, including season ticket holders. We'll hear more from Coach Trent Cull, who definitely pulled off that look, by the way. We'll hear from him more at 6. Reporting from the Adirondack Bank Center in Utica, Spencer Davidson, News Channel 2. Here at the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, the doors open to visitors for the first time since March 15th. What we'll do tonight is take a walk through the hall, see some of the things that they've put into place to allow visitors back in the door.
The museum experience here, it's the same exhibit.
Right.
It's the same interactives that we've had in place.
As soon as you walk in the doors, you'll notice a difference.
This is our lobby space. Folks enter, instead of 3 doors being available to enter, we've narrowed it to 1.
Okay.
And when people enter, it's very clearly marked with what we're calling on-deck circles every 6 feet.
Love it.
To show where folks could line up if they need to queue for any reason.
When you get up to the admission kiosk, plexiglass has been installed, as has the first of many hand sanitizing stations around the museum. Operating at 25% capacity, there are about 25 visitors allowed in at a time. Fans can reserve time tickets available in half-hour intervals.
That way we know when they arrive, there's going to be a slot for them, given the capacity restrictions in place. And so there shouldn't be as much of a line, as much congestion in the lobby, in the courtyard, that we're used to during a typical summer season.
During my tour of the hall today, I could certainly see the differences. Safety protocols have been marked clearly all throughout the building, and extra equipment is being provided to avoid direct contact with exhibits. It's all part of a plan that staff has worked on for a while.
Communication is crucial, and we're lucky that technology has allowed us to stay in touch even though we've been out of the office until staggering back in this week. Months in planning, and then in the last week or so, or 5 days, the execution part stepped up, and our team has come together an incredible way to get the museum ready.
Of course, fans may be excited to take in the history of baseball on its hallowed grounds again, but today's reopening is also exciting for those who work at the Hall of Fame as well.
As a staff, we thrive not only on baseball, but on sharing what we love about baseball and its history and the stories with folks that come in and really resonate with those stories. So, this is what we live for.
So fun day here at the Baseball Hall of Fame. As you were able to see, plenty of procedures put into place to allow fans back in the doors. Now, there may be no induction ceremony this year, but there's still plenty of baseball left to be celebrated here in Cooperstown. Reporting at the Baseball Hall of Fame, Spencer Davidson, News Channel 2. It's been a little while since we've been able to watch live sports on TV or play close contact sports with friends and family. If you're starting to feel a little stir crazy in your home, well, playing a certain sport could be an option with the right precautions.
All right, that'll work. My, how we've missed that sound.
Oh, beauty.
With the weather finally warming up, now is the time when golf courses locally usually get busy. However, with the coronavirus pandemic altering our way of life, it's created a tough situation, even for courses still open for business.
I'm torn, because I'm 68, I'm in the sites too, but once they give you the guidelines and then those are the rules, you just kind of play by the rules, and like I say, hopefully other people are abiding by it. Most of the people are like thankful I'm open. I'm thinking, well, that's kind of what I do. I've been doing it 39 years.
Golf provides an opportunity for people to get active at a time where many other facilities are closed to the public.
There's not a lot of sports, that you can do that in, and this happens to be one of them. So, I guess you could say we're lucky in that aspect. As long as people do it, use their head, listen to what they're telling you.
At Hidden Valley Golf Club in Whitesboro, signs are plastered all over, indicating the rules participants must follow. McRellis said that so far, the response has been positive.
Most people are pretty respectful of it. They just want to come out and they don't want to get sick either, so they just, kind of do what they should.
While the course is open, McRellis has a message for those looking to hit the links.
Just follow the rules, just the rules we've been given. If they change the rules, we'll change the operation. But if you want to come out, you can, but you got to follow certain rules.
If you stand with your arm extended and your club out in front of you, you should be a safe distance away from the person next to you. Follow all these rules and you should be good to go. In Whitesboro, Spencer Davidson, News Channel 2.
The lights are off, the seats are empty, and the ice is bare. It's a much different feeling here at the Adirondack Bank Center than it was at this time last week.
The only word I can really think of, I'm not smart enough to think of another one, is surreal. It's just very surreal.
While players and fans alike are already missing game action here at the Aud, the organization is facing a new battle off the ice.
How can we find ways to make sure that the concessionaire, the parking attendant, the usher can sort of be made whole or partly whole throughout this whole situation, because the effect is powerful.
They may not get announced on the public address or receive standing ovations from 4,000 fans, but the people who work for this team are just as important as the players who do.
Our employees are our lifeblood. They really are. I mean, they're unbelievable kids. Some of them have been here for 7 years, some of them are new to the team, but they're just an unbelievable group, and it's challenging.
And so, these were born.
The t-shirt idea started with Cecily in our marketing department, and we were in a meeting, and the idea was pitched, and a plan of action was pitched, and I love a good pun, so I decided that maybe we would throw something into the ring, and Puck the Virus was born.
In the 3 days since the shirts were made and the fund was created, around 400 have been sold as of earlier this afternoon.
That's been really important, to have a sort of community buy-in, which I'm not sure if most markets would be able to do that, because people can see that where we're coming from is from a genuine place. We mean what we say, that we're going to be hurting.
Though we may not be able to enter this tunnel, sit in these seats, and watch the team on that ice, these t-shirt sales are another reminder of how the Utica community is all together.
The Comets fans are the best in the whole AHL, and they rival at a small level. They punch above their weight class, and they rival NHL cities, per capita. So we will see each other soon enough. But I think really focusing on the health and well-being of our loved ones and family members, it's really the only thing that matters.
At the Adirondack Bank Center, Spencer Davidson, News Channel 2.
Good evening. The Herkimer College softball team continued its quest for a national title in the NJCAA quarterfinals up at Carrier Park in Syracuse this morning. The Generals taking on Rowan College of South Jersey Gloucester, with the winner advancing to this afternoon's semifinal round. Herkimer jumping on the Roadrunners right away. Bottom one, Madison Einert pops it out to center field with a runner on third. The catch is made, but tagging and scoring is Aubrey Ketchum on the sacrifice to get the Generals on the board. Now ignore the scoreboard on the top right coming up, because the Generals were actually down 2-1 in the bottom of the second. That's when Victoria Borowski slices a liner to left field. Alexis Van Patten comes around to score from second, and we're knotted up at 2. RFA grad Olivia Guy homered to give Herkimer a 4-3 lead in the fourth. Then in the fifth, Melissa Daniel drives in another with a sac fly to left with the bases loaded. From there, Herkimer hung on to win 6-4 to advance to the national semifinals, where they would face Corning Community College for a spot in the championship game. But that's where their run would end. The Generals fell to the Red Barons 4-3 in the semifinals for their second loss of the double elimination tournament. Herkimer ends their season at 21-6 overall as Region 3 champions and the third place team in the nation. Another Rome native had the chance to compete on the big stage at the NCAA Division III Outdoor Track and Field Championships in Greensboro, North Carolina. RFA grad Sarah Crockett, a sophomore at SUNY Brockport, placed 12th in the nation in the shot put event after her best throw of 13.29 meters. She outperformed her initial seed of number 15 heading into the national championship meet earlier in the week. Crockett was named to the All-Atlantic region team after becoming the top-ranked shot putter in the region. Congrats go out to Sarah. Stanley Cup playoff action tonight. The New York Islanders begin their best-of-7 second-round series against the Boston Bruins with Game 1 from the TD Garden. First playoff meeting in 38 years between the Isles and Bruins. In the first, Islanders converting on the power play. Noah Dobson throws a wrister towards the net. Anthony Beauvillier redirects it. New York opens up the scoring in the series. Boston then puts in 2 straight in the second. Adam Pelech unloading an absolute missile from the point. That's a clapper top shelf, and the Islanders knotted up at 2. Third period, Bruins in possession. Charlie McAvoy from downtown. A nearly identical goal to the previous gives the Bruins a 3-2 lead, and one they would not give up. David Pastrnak scored a hat trick, and the Bruins added an empty netter as the Isles fall in Game 1, 5-2. After dropping a tough game with a 10th inning walk-off last night, the Yankees returned to Comerica Park for Game 2 of a 3-game set against the Detroit Tigers this afternoon. Beautiful afternoon in the Motor City. Yanks hoping that sunshine can help them snap out of a 3 losses in 4-game funk. Top 2, Bombers have the bases loaded and no outs. Miguel Andujar grounds into a double play. Scoring is Gleyber Torres from third, and the Yanks are on the board, but they'd squander a great opportunity, coming away with just 1 run. In the bottom half, Tigers have him loaded up now. Willie Castro hits a sharp grounder to second. Rugnet Odor, nice play there, but throws it away. 2-run score, and the Yankees trail 2-1. In the fifth, it's 5-1 Detroit. Jonathan Scope, forget about this one, folks. A towering shot out to left. That's gone for a loud solo shot. The Yankees offense anemic yet again. They fall in this one 6-1 and look to salvage the final game of the set tomorrow at 1:10. Big NL East matchup in Queens with the Mets hosting the Atlanta Braves, who are 2.5 games behind them for first in the division. Bottom of the first, James McCann up with 2 outs and bases empty. He goes opposite field to right and gone for a solo homer. Mets are on the board. In the fifth, New York up 2. Jonathan VR leading things off, and there's a big blast all the way to the apple in dead center for a hole-in-one. VR is pumped up, so are the fans. New York leads by 3. They weren't even close to done either. Bottom 6, 1 on for pinch hitter Brandon Drury. That is a mile high out to left. A towering shot that reaches the seats for a 2-run dinger. Huge night for the Mets bats, an absolutely dominant performance as they win 13-2. We will finish up News Channel 2 weekend after the break.